All right, no script. I'm going to try and do this live. So this video should be about ghosts, at least I think so. That's the plan. But by doing it live, no script, I don't usually do scripts. My brain will take me wild places. So we will see. So as I said before, we're going to look at ghosts. Now, ghost is a very general term, but most channels tend to just call it ghost, as you know, as usual. But there are specific terms that are thrown around. For example, and this will be the main three that I'll be focusing on, we have demons, we have poltergeist, and we also have jinn. Now, these three are the most common ones that you'll see mentioned. A lot of people have their own ideas about what some of these things are. There are set rules, religious rules as well, as to what they are capable of, what these things are like, and so on. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't follow any of that at all, so we can't really have fun with it that way, but it does make it easier to understand when someone is lying or if someone is really lying. We'll be able to figure that out very easily. Now, to break down how a lot of these videos are faking their things, I don't have to specifically go to religion to prove that a lot of these are fake, although that's going to make this a lot easier. For example, it is easy to prove that 100%, at least in my personal opinion, 100% of demon videos are false. They are completely made up. The reason for that is I could just go to religion and just show you that demons do not do any of the stuff that people supposedly film them doing. Assuming the religion is true, every single video is fake. Assuming the religion is not true, or that these guys, it could be true, but maybe these guys are seeing something else and they are labeling it a demon when it isn't. Assuming that that's the case, that makes it more difficult for them, because that tells me that whatever it is that they are doing, they don't understand. If you don't understand what you are dealing with, you're using technology that you don't understand, and you don't know what you're doing with, how can you sit there and tell me that you have footage of a demon? You don't know what you're using, and you don't know what you're capturing. Realistically, the only thing that you have is really bad footage, a couple of pixels in the dark, and that's it. I'm sorry, that's not proof of ghosts or demons or really anything. At best, you've got a fart in the wind. Now, demons are the easy one to really kind of get out of the way. Again, as I said, not everything would need religion for you to prove that it's not the case. With jinn, you kind of can use it as well, mainly because that's where it comes from. As with demons, these two things are very clearly defined. We know what these things are, or at least supposedly, if we're going with any other religion, we know how these things function. We know what they do, at least to an extent. We even know why they do what they do, right? But it gets a little bit more interesting when we step away from jinn and demons and specifically talk about poltergeist, or the more general term, a ghost. These things are very poorly defined. The reason for that is that, well, it's bullshit. But assuming we want to stick to the point of maybe it's real. Maybe some of the videos are actually capturing ghosts. But fair enough. Okay. I have some questions. Okay. Now, these are very easy questions, and anyone who believes in ghosts and believes that these footage that have been captured of these ghosts are true, it is very easy to prove that they are real if you just answer some of these questions and actually capture better footage of them, but it's okay. It's okay. We'll get there eventually, hopefully. By 2050, when we have some better technology, as opposed to right now where we can barely do 1080p, of course. Here are my questions. The first one: why would a ghost need to peek around a door? It's a ghost. You can't see it. Well, apart from when they manifest, right? Fair enough. Okay, cool. We'll get there. So, assuming that you can see them, fair enough, so that they peek around doors. In 99% of the videos where they've captured a ghost, they peek around a door. Do these ghosts not stand anywhere else in a room? Maybe not in a corner of a room, or maybe to the side? Do they just manifest only in a doorway so they could peek into the room and look at you? That assumes that the ghost has a reason to hide from the person. Why would a ghost need to hide? How does that sentence even make sense to anyone who watches these videos? A ghost hiding from people. What? When in 90% of the cases, the people just run away anyway. Oh, I'm a ghost hunter. The moment they see a ghost, they run away. Imagine that, right? Imagine you're out hunting elk, deer, whatever, right? You're out and you're hunting. You've got the perfect shot. You see the deer just in the distance. They turn their head and then you just start running away. Because that makes sense, right? Of course. Ghosts work the same way. But that's fine. So, assuming that the ghost wants to scare you a little bit, fair enough. But I have another question. Okay? Now, I'm trying to be fair here, okay? I'm trying to be fair. I understand some of these things, even for the ghosts, can be quite difficult, so fair enough. Why is it that any time that a ghost moves something, it's 100% of the time, either the item is being pulled or pushed? Seems like a weird question to ask. Well, what do you mean by that? Okay, fair enough. I'll explain. So, every single time that I've seen a ghost deal with items, like objects, this will specifically touch on poltergeist, you almost always see a cup placed on a table, and the cup ever so slightly edges forward or backwards, or maybe slightly to the right or left, and that's it. This is the spirit of a person that we're talking about. Could they not just lift it up into the air? I mean, I can do that. You're telling me that these ghosts, demons, poltergeists that are known for moving objects, they couldn't just do this? This is that much of an impossibility for them? That's it. That's my question. Next, I'll actually touch on the issue that personally I have with the jinn. The biggest problem that you have is that, and this goes again across the board, just because a lot of these videos that you see with ghosts or anything, just label it paranormal, whatever. A lot of these things tend to have the same issue. We're not even going to talk about like how they just completely change forms. Sometimes it's shadow people. Okay, what are the rules for shadow people? Well, they you can't see them until you can, and they can't move stuff until they can, and they hide from you, except they don't. And also, they are essentially a ghost, but they're not. And we have no idea what the rules are for them either. So, okay, all right, fair enough. But let's get back to the jinn. This one is actually even more easy than the demon, Because the Arabic videos that you see every single day, that when they upload that, and then they are racing through the room, they are bursting down doors. It is amazing. It is epic, right? Well, the funny thing is, if those uploaders are true to their own religion when they pray and say their verses during the videos, if these guys are a lot more honest to their own religion, which they don't seem to be, then they should be able to deal with these jinn much easier. Like, it's actually extremely easy to deal with anything evil with Islam. It's actually very easy. So here's the thing. Jinn is at least as far as I understand it, they are supposed to be evil. They are a specific evil thing that was also created by God, apparently. And they're in their own realm. They can influence ours. And apparently they can shapeshift and some other stuff. But realistically, anything that means you harm or bad or is evil spirits, whatever, all of these things can be dealt with by, I believe, I could be wrong on this, I believe it's if you say God's name 3 times, or if you say a specific thing from the Quran 3 times. When you repeat that, it just goes away. Just like that. And most of the verses as well are supposed to also protect and ward away those horrible things, right? So every time that you see these men rushing through and the doors opening or closing, which, you know, because of course it's a jinn, this shape-shifting creature, it's super evil, it opens and closes doors. That's it. Ooh. The moment that he rushes in and he starts saying all of that prayer and he starts saying God's name repeatedly across the whole video, we're talking like a 10-minute video, maybe 13-minute video, and they're saying the prayer the whole time and it's still happening. Well, that tells me 2 things. Either the religion is wrong and that's what these Arabic videos are saying, or it's fake. Which one is it, right? Well, they're never going to say that their religion is fake, right? Fair enough. So that means that they're lying then. If they lie about that, I wonder what else they lie about. So yeah, when it comes to the jinn, it's the easiest one to get out of the way, right? And realistically, with all of them, I have the same issue. It's that there are no set rules. And when there are set rules, it's usually by like a scam artist who's trying to sell you some holy water that isn't holy. They're trying to sell you on these like pieces of paper that don't do anything. It's just throwaway garbage that you won't even keep in the house. But they want you to spend 40, 50, 60 pounds on those things. Oh yeah. Yeah. These things will protect you from these creatures, these horrible, horrible creatures that open and close doors very rarely. And on occasion, they will push and or pull something a tiny bit. That's it. That's all that ever happens. Oh, and they peek around a doorway. They love that one. That was a classic. That's a favorite right there. So yeah, ghosts. We've finally got footage. I think, right? We cracked that one. And you would think that by now, if we had actual footage, that it wouldn't be all over the place. Like, we've done it, right? We have evidence of ghost. So why is it that you'll have one video uploading their version of a ghost and it's something completely different, and then you'll get another one that's completely different, and both of these things are supposed to be real? And at times they're actually fully contradicting each other, and it's still, both of them are true, because so since I use the religion thing for the jinn, and I'll use it for the demons as well. So this one's actually a funny one, because demons are the most, and when I say this, I'll explain when I get there. Demons are the most misunderstood creatures in all of, in my opinion, mythology, in religion, and so on. Misunderstood in the sense that what is actually said about them, most people do not know is said about them. Without getting into morality of anything, stuff like that, that's not the point of this. It's that demons do not have any reason to scare you. That defeats the purpose of what they are trying to do. They are trying to go against God, and they are trying to go against, I guess it would be his will, right? And they're trying to also go against Christ. Well, the demon wouldn't be peeking around a doorway, would it? That doesn't make any sense. It wouldn't sit there and just try to scare you, but only a little bit. This all-powerful demon walks into a room, and they ever so slightly scratch you on the arm. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's just like, maybe it's a pastime, right? They get bored. Maybe these demons just get really bored, and they just think to themselves, I'm going to go up there and I'm going to scratch these people, but only a little bit. I'm not going to cause any harm. And then on the rare occasion that they do cause harm, it's still a little bit, right? And they're like, oh man, I may have gone a little too far with that one, next time I won't be as harsh. I thought about it. I was gonna go there, but I don't want to go there anymore. Yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense. The most powerful thing that a demon can do is provide for you. The most dangerous thing a demon can do is replace this idea of the good side, because it muddies the playing field. Because, oh hey, look, this side's doing good things for me. They mean well for me. But so does this side. Both of them are providing for me. And suddenly, now, you have choices. But if one side is terrorizing you, well, you're only going to go to the other, right? So it doesn't make sense as to why a demon would mean you harm. That doesn't make any sense. And no one ever asks this question. They just think, oh no, oh, demons are so scary. Why would they be? I'm not a religious person whatsoever. This is a fun video that I thought I would make. For me personally, right? This is just me getting thoughts and ideas out of my brain hole. There's an actual story of, I believe, I'm gonna butcher the hell out of this story. And I have a religious friend who's probably going to, oh boy, that's gonna be fun. That conversation later is gonna be really fun. But essentially, there is a story of, I'm not sure if it's Satan or it's a demon specifically or whatever, but I believe it's Satan. And it's the idea of, he tries to mimic Jesus Christ, essentially. And he tries to perform miracles as well, essentially sell his side of things to get people away from Jesus Christ. Now, I'm not sure where that goes. I just know that happened, I think. And the reason I bring that up is, wouldn't that be what they're trying to do all the time? So suddenly, all these demon videos, yeah, well, all bullshit. So demons, bullshit. Jinn, bullshit. And then we have poltergeist, pathetic. And we have just generally the term ghost. Either the people who are filming these things are not very bright, and or they're confusing what they're seeing with maybe something else. Maybe there's like an invisible force that is just having a really good time, or it's fake. Now, then I ask, what is more likely for you? That a force, an invisible force, is having a good time and ever so, like on rare occasions, shows himself and just goes, "Hey, I exist," and then just leaves. Or 100% of this stuff that you get on YouTube is all fake. All of it. But of course, that's for you to decide. As a lot of the compilation guys say, right? That's for you to decide. Well, it is for you to decide. As with pretty much all of the videos that I'll be uploading in this series, ask, why is it that this piece of information is being presented this way by this person? What is it for? They're trying to sell me this idea of a ghost. Why? Well, it gets a lot of views and it makes a lot of money. Maybe. But ask questions. That's it. The more questions that you ask, the more answers you get. And the more answers you get, the closer you get to where you want to be. That's it. Ask questions. It's good for you. This mic is really heavy. Anyway, I'm done. Man, I can't wait for all of this footage that I have recorded, both in the kitchen and in my bedroom right here. I cannot wait for all of them to be horrible, both with audio and, I mean, I've already checked some of them. The audio is pretty poor. I won't be using the other mic that I have very often. I'll try and film most of it here. It's pretty nice. I like it. I've just put a little bit of something together. Got lights here all around me, and I'm getting cooked in here. Anyway, thank you for watching. Take care.